Welcome to the vast windswept world of the Arctic tundra. This place is honestly one of the toughest environments on Earth, with freezing temperatures and long dark winters. But even here, life finds a way to thrive. Today, we're going on an adventure to meet a true survivor, an animal that has walked this frozen land since the time of the woolly mammoth. I'm talking about the incredible muskox. These powerful animals are not just living fossils, they are a vital part of the Arctic landscape, a symbol of strength and resilience against the odds. Their story is a powerful reminder of how amazing nature can be. The muskox might look like a bison, but it's actually more closely related to sheep and goats. Its scientific name, Ovibos moschatus, even hints at this, meaning musky sheepox. They are true icons of the North, living in the Arctic regions of Canada, Greenland, Alaska, and even parts of Europe and Asia, where they have been reintroduced. Seeing one of these magnificent creatures against the stark white backdrop of the snow is like stepping back in time. They carry the spirit of the Ice Age in their very bones, having outlasted saber-toothed cats and giant ground sloths to become masters of the modern tundra. When you think of the Arctic, you might imagine polar bears or Arctic foxes, but the muskox plays an just as important role. They are like the gardeners of the tundra, shaping the plant life with their grazing habits. Their presence creates a ripple effect throughout the entire ecosystem, influencing everything from the soil to the plants and even other animals that share their home. The story of the muskox is not just about survival, it's about how one species can hold an entire environment together. They are a keystone species, and without them, the Arctic would be a very different place indeed. For thousands of years, these animals have been a source of life for the indigenous peoples of the Arctic. They have provided food to sustain communities through harsh winters, warm wool for clothing, and strong bones for tools. The connection between humans and muskoxen in the north is deep and ancient, built on a foundation of respect and dependence. Understanding the muskox means understanding the history of human survival in one of the world's most extreme climates. So let's get ready to explore the life of this amazing creature, the thunder on the tundra. How does an animal survive where temperatures can drop to bone-chilling lows? The muskox has some incredible adaptations that make it a true champion of the cold. First, let's look at its amazing coat. It has 2 layers of fur. The outer layer is made of long, coarse guard hairs that can almost touch the ground. This shaggy coat acts like a protective curtain, shielding the animal from wind, snow, and rain. It hangs down like a thick, dark skirt, keeping the bitter cold away from its body and legs, which is essential for conserving precious body heat in the unforgiving Arctic climate. Beneath those long guard hairs lies a secret weapon against the cold, a thick, dense undercoat of soft wool called kivyut. This is one of the finest and warmest natural fibers in the world, even warmer than sheep's wool. This kivyut traps a layer of air close to the muskox's skin, acting as a super insulator. It's so effective that muskoxen can stay perfectly comfortable even when the wind is howling and the temperature plummets far below zero. Each spring they shed this kivyut in big, woolly clumps, leaving it scattered across the tundra for other animals like birds to use for their nests. It's not just the fur that helps them survive. The muskox has a stocky, barrel-shaped body with short, stout legs. This compact body shape reduces the amount of surface area exposed to the cold, which helps minimize heat loss. Think of it like curling up into a ball to stay warm. The muskox's body is naturally built that way. Their large, broad hooves act like snowshoes, helping them walk on top of deep snow without sinking. The front of their hooves are sharp, allowing them to dig through snow and ice to find the tasty plants buried underneath. Even their breathing is adapted for the cold. Muskoxen have large nasal passages that help warm the frigid Arctic air before it reaches their lungs. This simple but brilliant feature prevents them from losing too much body heat just by breathing. From their impressive horns used for defense to their specialized hooves for digging, every part of the muskox is perfectly designed for a life on the frozen tundra. They are a living, breathing example of how evolution shapes animals to conquer even the most extreme environments on our planet. It's a masterclass in survival. Muskoxen are very social animals, and they understand a simple rule of the wild. There is safety in numbers. They live together in groups called herds, which can range from a handful of individuals to over 50 animals, depending on the season. In the winter, the herds tend to be larger, which helps them huddle together for warmth and find food more easily under the deep snow. A dominant male or bull usually leads the herd, but the real strength comes from their cooperation. This social structure is the key to their defense and their ability to raise their young in such a dangerous place. When danger approaches, usually in the form of their main predator, the Arctic wolf, the Muskoxen don't run. Instead, they use one of the most incredible defense strategies in the entire animal kingdom. The adults quickly form a protective circle or a solid line, facing outward with their sharp, curved horns pointed at the threat. The young calves and weaker members of the herd are safely sheltered in the center of this living fortress. This defensive ring is almost impossible for predators to break through. It's a powerful display of teamwork and courage. The bulls play a special role in defending the herd. During the summer mating season, they compete for dominance in dramatic headbutting contests. They will charge at each other from a distance, crashing their massive, bony heads together with a sound that echoes across the tundra. The winner of these battles earns the right to lead the herd and mate with the females. But when a predator attacks, these same rivals will stand shoulder to shoulder, putting their differences aside to protect the entire group. Their power is not just in their individual strength, but in their commitment to the herd. Life for a young muskox calf begins within the safety of this protective herd. Calves are born in the spring and can stand and run within hours of birth. They stay very close to their mothers, nursing and learning the ways of the tundra. The entire herd helps protect the calves, with all adults ready to defend them from danger. This incredible social bond ensures that as many young muskoxen as possible survive their first vulnerable year. The herd is more than just a group of animals. It's a family, working together to face every challenge the Arctic throws at them. So, what does a giant shaggy beast eat in a place that's covered in snow for most of the year? Muskoxen are herbivores, which means they are plant eaters. Their diet consists of the tough vegetation that grows on the tundra, like grasses, sedges, and mosses. In the short Arctic summer, when the snow melts and the landscape bursts with life, they feast on a wide variety of plants, including nutritious wildflowers and willow shoots. This is a critical time for them to build up fat reserves that will help them survive the long, lean winter months ahead when food is much harder to find. During the winter, finding food becomes a real challenge. The tundra is buried under a thick blanket of snow and ice. This is where their strong bodies and sharp hooves come in handy. Muskoxen use their hooves and their powerful heads to dig through the snow, creating feeding craters to get to the dried grasses and sedges hidden below. They have an excellent sense of smell that helps them locate these food sources. This constant digging and grazing is hard work, and it's one reason why they need to conserve as much energy as possible during the winter. The muskox's role as a grazer has a huge impact on the Arctic ecosystem. By eating plants, they help control vegetation growth and prevent certain species from taking over. Their grazing helps recycle nutrients back into the soil through their waste, which acts as a natural fertilizer. This enriches the soil and allows for healthier plant growth in the spring. In this way, muskoxen act like the gardeners of the tundra, helping to maintain the delicate balance of the plant community. Their feeding habits create a healthier and more diverse landscape for all Arctic life. This gardening helps other animals too. When muskoxen dig up the snow to create feeding craters, they make it easier for smaller animals, like Arctic hares and lemmings, to access food. These smaller herbivores are, in turn, a vital food source for predators like Arctic foxes and snowy owls. So, the simple act of a muskox looking for its dinner has a positive ripple effect across the entire food web. They are a true keystone species, and their presence is essential for the health and stability of the entire Arctic tundra ecosystem. The story of the muskox is deeply connected to the story of people in the Arctic. For thousands of years, indigenous communities like the Inuit have lived alongside these animals, relying on them for survival. The muskox provided a vital source of meat, offering protein and nutrients in a land where farming is impossible. Every part of the animal was used. The thick hides were turned into warm blankets and shelter coverings, while the strong bones and horns were expertly crafted into essential tools, from knives and arrowheads to sled runners. This relationship was built on deep respect and sustainable hunting practices. The cultural value of the muskox is just as important. In many northern communities, the muskox is a powerful symbol of strength, survival, and community. Its ability to work together to defend the herd reflects the importance of family and cooperation in human societies. The chiviut, that incredibly soft underwool, is harvested from the tundra after the muskoxen shed it naturally. It is then spun into yarn by local artisans and knitted into beautiful lightweight garments like scarves and hats, providing a sustainable source of income that celebrates traditional skills and a deep connection to the land. Today, however, these ancient survivors face new and serious threats. The biggest danger is climate change. The Arctic is warming faster than anywhere else on Earth. This leads to more extreme weather events like rain-on-snow events in the winter. When rain falls on a snowpack and then freezes, it creates a thick layer of ice that the muskoxen cannot dig through to reach their food. These icing events can lead to widespread starvation. Warmer summers can also bring new diseases and parasites northward, which the muskoxen have no natural defense against. Human activities also pose a risk. Increased development in the Arctic for oil, gas and mining can disrupt their habitats and migration routes. While hunting is now carefully regulated, the pressures of a changing world are putting this iconic species in a vulnerable position. Protecting the muskox means protecting the entire Arctic. We need to support conservation efforts that study their populations and work to preserve their habitat. It's about finding a balance where humans and these magnificent Ice Age beasts can continue to share the great northern wilderness for generations to come. Their survival is a test of our own commitment to protecting the wild heart of our planet.